The Bank of France and Ripple are releasing further details. We will proceed to discuss each of the links. I'll also show you some secret facts concerning relationships with France and Ripple that no one is currently discussing online. In addition, we will examine some information. The Senate recently enacted the Genius Act. What comes next? We will also examine some news regarding Ripple's largest cooperation. I will tell you everything about this. In addition, I have a wealth of additional knowledge. Of course, let's begin right now. The digital euro must be in compliance with ISO 2002 according to the Banque de France. XRP may be used as a platform by the French central bank to issue the digital euro. Thus, we're witnessing an increasing amount of data. A lot of this material has already been covered by me. They have actually been working on this for a while, but I was just curious as to whether France will actually select Ripple. Are they testing any other technologies? With all of this, where are we? What is the next course of action? Now let's address each of those inquiries. Here is the summary then. One well-known European central bank, the Banque de France, is investigating the possibility of creating a central bank digital currency only for the digital euro using Ripple's XRP ledger. This interest has been reinforced by recent academic industry updates and reported in multiple reports. To put it briefly, I have no idea what the politics of the UK or the EU are. I am aware that France has assumed a significant leadership position in the European Union after the UK departed due to Brexit. Additionally, other EU nations would feel at ease collaborating with Ripple on their central bank digital currency if France proceeds with a private ledger and Ripple's technology. And that might have a lot of power. Let's take a closer look at what is being discussed at this moment. I understand what's real and what isn't. According to the CPA Australia article, the Banque de France was evaluating XRP and Ripple as possible platforms for the digital euro's issuance, pointing to the platform's technological prowess and conformity to central bank regulations. Thus, you should also take this into account. In addition to considering XRP as a bridge asset, they will not select any technology that is incompatible with other technologies. It could be used for a variety of purposes. A wholesale CBDC indicates that the French central bank engages in various business dealings with both domestic and foreign institutions. Therefore, a variety of currency pairs and exchanges may occur, and all of them may be accomplished easily with XRP or something similar to RLUSD. This is probably going to be a digital euro of some kind, and who knows what this might actually look like when it's all said and done. The technical specifications for all of this are listed here. In order to facilitate incorporation into the global payments environment and enable cross-border transactions, Ripple's technology supports international electronic data exchange standards, including ISO 2022, which the digital euro system must be compatible with. It's difficult to keep track of at this time because Ripple has been with so many central banks and has been the IMF, you know. Even though Ripple has taken a lot of information off their website, we recognize that this is a significant technological effort for them. I believe they are still putting in a lot of effort behind the scenes to finish this and use the XRP ledger and interconnectivity to link the world. So these are this year's and previous year's developments. Testing of Ripple's private ledger has been formally started by the Bank of France, which plans to use it as the basis for its euro-based CBDC. For a national CBDC in France, this is the first verified trial of Ripple's blockchain. The Banque de France is actively testing Ripple's private ledger, according to academic research from Ulster University Industry News. As a result, this is happening today. This is really awesome. Institutional trust and its ramifications for the entire EU. Thus, this is a better knowledge of the EU as a whole, which I believe consists of 27 nations working together every day to advance this cause. Since Ripple's technology is regarded as more appropriate, the Banque de France's involvement with it indicates a significant institutional faith in it. Because of its permission structure, regulatory compliance, transaction speed, and anonymity, it is better suited for central bank requirements than public blockchains like Bitcoin and Ethereum. If it works, Ripple might become a key technology supplier for the digital euro since its infrastructure might be taken into consideration for more extensive talks about the digital euro and access to the European Union. Even though we don't know how this will turn out, The fact that they are testing it should tell you a lot. I'll show you the other technology they're experimenting with. In fact, I was shocked to discover that there were no other well-known blockchain figures included in the discussion when I checked this up. Though you won't see anything you would expect to recognize, you will see names you are familiar with. So I'm going to enter now. We are aware of Ripple's technological advantages, namely its speed. According to the documentation I've seen, Swift processes about 1,000 transactions every second. Thus, 1,500 transactions per second are being made using XRP. It's important to keep in mind that Ripple is not aiming to become a company that charges retail customers endlessly, like Visa. They wish to work with banks, financial institutions, central banks, and financial market infrastructures. I believe we discussed how the permission network permits authorized validators. The network's nodes would be these central banks. They have been conducting research and testing since 2016. They will have been conducting study for 10 years next year. Recall what I told you about, they simply won't develop and use a technology tomorrow, you know. Before they invest their entire economy in this digital depiction of their worth, they must undergo years and years of sandbox testing to ensure that this will truly function. Here is a list of CBDC cross-border payments that the bank has examined and paid in the past. I wanted to know whether the Bank of France is trying any additional CBDC technology in order to better comprehend moving down here. Because I think it's crucial to finish this investigation so you know that these companies are also involved, not only Ripple. Let's talk about that. These are the businesses. Thus, since 2020, the Bank of France, Accenture, and other blockchain platforms and partners have completed at least 12 distinct CBDC tests. They are therefore making a concerted effort to resolve all of this. Thus, Accenture, HSBC, Société Générale Subsidy Forge, crypto bank Seba, and of course Tezos are among the noteworthy partnerships. That seems a bit odd, don't you think, Tezos? But you see a pattern here. Do you see something? Of the 5 companies or whatever is mentioned, Ripple Partner, Accenture, HSBC, and Société Générale Forge are all partners of Ripple. They may not be working on digital currency issued by central banks, but they are undoubtedly working with Ripple on cross-border payments, custody solutions, and other things. As a result, I actually began examining each of these businesses individually and came across these 3. Are already Ripple partners. Is CBDC technology involved in any way? Because, you know, I wanted to go beyond than that. I wanted to know if they were testing their own technology or if they were collaborating with Ripple to test their technology through Accenture. Essentially, they are testing their own technologies. Ripple isn't being tested. Accenture is the company that discusses the Ripple cooperation, the CBDC's engagement, and the summary. I simply don't want to put too much effort into this. This link will be included in the description. I would love to see you get it here and look through everything. To enable anyone to do that, I will ensure that this document is publicly accessible. However, I conducted all of this study. I just wanted to let you know. You can pause it and read this through from beginning to end. However, none of these Ripple partners are actually connected to each other utilizing the true Ripple CBDC technology. But this was interesting. A stablecoin called SSG Forge and Associated Generals Forge EuroCV was created with MiCA compliance in mind. Will be distributed among multiple blockchains, such as the XRP ledger. Although there are some intriguing connections there, let's move on. To illustrate